Hello class 10, welcome to history lecture. We are continuing with our second chapter and our today's topic is Swami Vivekananda and his new concept of Neo-Hinduism or Vedantism. Swami Vivekananda and his concept of Neo-Vedantism. Here, first in the introduction, we have to mention that Swami Vivekananda was born in 1863 and he was born as Narendra and he was an ardent follower of Sri Ramakrishna Paromita. There, after this brief introduction, we will mention that he was of a very modern thought and his new concept of Hinduism became very popular and which came to be known as Neo-Hinduism or global Hinduism. So what we see is that Swami Vivekananda's concept of Neo-Vedantism also was popular as global Hinduism or Neo-Hinduism or Neo-Vedantism. So what we see is that here he interpreted the Vedas in reinterpretation of Vedas. We can see it was Neo-Vedantism was basically the reinterpretation of the Vedas, and it was done in such a way, the language that he used, was modern. So as he was using a modern language to suit the need of the modern man, the way he interpreted the Neo-Vedantism, the way he interpreted the Vedas was a modern interpretation of Vedas, and this modern interpretation was done to suit the modern man. And there we see that he said that he wanted to raise the status of Hinduism over the world he wanted to raise the status of Hinduism. And there he said that there should not be any blind imitation of the West. So we see that he shunned blind imitation of the West. He said that we should not blindly imitate the West. There are certain good things about the West that also he said he completely never criticized the West and completely never said that blind imitation should be done. So he was against blind imitation of the West. Blind imitation of the West should be rejected, he said. And he also said that whatever is good from the West, that we have to accept. That is, to accept the good from the West. Good from the West means wherever they have progressed, that part we have to accept from them. Like the concept of freedom, freedom of women, educational development, freedom, technological development. These things which are developed in West, that we should accept from the West, but we should not blindly imitate them. Also, we should give them in return. We also can give them something. He said that Hinduism has a great spirituality which is missing in the West. So he said that we can also give this spirituality to the West in return for accepting from them the concept of freedom, the ideologies of liberty, and also the technological development and educational development of the West we can accept. So he also said that the present day Hinduism has been encircled by many vices. Hinduism, he said, has been encircled by many vices, and he completely was against those superstitions and ritualistic practice. So he raised his voice against superstitions and costly rituals. Ritualistic practice is what he never supported. So he was completely against superstition and ritualistic practices. Also he was against this caste division, and another aim of him was to do away with the class division. So he was completely against the class division of the society. And thus we see his concept of Neo-Hinduism or global Hinduism became very popular among the world, and he preached these all over the world in 1893 in his Chicago conference in Chicago, where he gave his speech about Hinduism. There what we see is that he raised the status of Hinduism in the Chicago Conference in 1893, and another achievement was that in 1897 he founded the Ramakrishna Mission, and this Ramakrishna Mission was founded as a platform for social activities and also for the disciples, for religious activities also for the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. So these are the two most important and most we see that achievements of Vivekananda. So in 1893 the Chicago Conference, where he raised the status of Hinduism, and in 1897 the Ramakrishna Mission was founded by him to give a platform for the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, and also for social work, for a platform for a social work. In 1902, Swami Vivekananda died, but his ideas and principles were kept followed in the Ramakrishna Mission, which he had founded. So these were the concept of Neo-Vedantism or modern Hinduism, which Swami Vivekananda has propounded. Thank you.